What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. It's too dark in here to film myself being a black guy, and we need proper lighting and whatnot, so I decided to just film the street while we're driving on the way to work. Of course, it's not focusing right, but whatever. It's your problem, not mine. Just listen to my voice. Now, so I was thinking about a situation that just recently happened to me. Actually, it's more than one situation where it's like, women are just like really like, they're really hyper aggressive. And then the more I look online, and when I'm talking about hyper aggressive, I'm talking about like sexually. And when I look online, it's like something that you find is like very widespread nowadays. Like women have become like, exceptionally like sexually aggressive. And I was like wondering what happened, what changed to make women behave in this way. Because back when I was coming up as a kid, that was like, not a kid, but as teens and early adults, that was the opposite of how the females behaved. They wouldn't really want to be known to be like, whorish, I guess we would call it back then. So I was thinking, what's different? And this actually goes into a larger topic than just sexuality. And that goes into the alteration of modern society and, the direction our society has gone in. So when we look at traditionalism is where the man earns all the money and the woman stays at home, takes care of the household. In traditionalism, everything was about the man being a provider, being fit in terms of, when we talk about fit, we talk about like, economic fitness, and the ability to bring home the bacon or the turkey bacon or whatever you eat, the Whole Foods vegan bread, whatever the hell it is your diet is, his capability to provide, and that in itself fulfilled female hypergamous needs, and therefore that made him attractive. His ability to provide made him attractive. Nowadays, we find that women are actually like more educated than men in the Western world when we look at the numbers, and this is also spreading to like third world countries. And we also find that females, despite the whole 71 cents per dollar mantra thing that's being still sold to the Western society, we find that women actually outstrip men in earnings in Western societies. They earn more than men, and that whole 71 cents to a dollar thing, it's been refuted multiple times. Women make different career choices that cause them to make less money, but in general, a man and a woman in the same career field, the woman will earn more money and see promotions faster than a man will, just because everybody wants to look like they're being progressive and forward and like, putting women forward instead of holding them back. Nonetheless, that's slightly off the topic. Coming back on subject now. So with women having access to wealth through career and education, and those women who don't have career and education being taken care of by their new husband, daddy state, aka the welfare state, you find that a woman's hypergamous needs are being filled entirely. So she no longer needs to look to a man in order to be supported. She can break up with her husband, take all his crap, and then get support from the government to further take care of herself. So what does this leave women in regards to sexual attraction? Well, now they all want to go out and bang the alpha bad boy. Men have been relegated to nothing more than meat sticks, aka your penis. That's it. Because she no longer needs to follow the traditionalist model. This is why you find so many single women out all making all sorts of crazy demands. Oh, the guy's got to be a six-pack guy. He's got to have this type of career. He's got to be this. He's got to be that. A man needs to be this and this and this and yada yada whoop whoop whoop. This is when you really look at what all these women are asking for. They're all looking for an alpha male. They're looking for the apex male in society because society already provides them with everything they need for their sustenance and daily living. They no longer need to find a provider male. They don't have to settle because daddy state is there and because she's making more money than the average male provider can. So this leaves a woman with nothing but her sexual desires. She no longer has to make a decision for her future mate based upon responsibility. She doesn't have to look at his ability to provide. She doesn't have to look at his long-term provisioning skills, his education, nothing. All she needs to look at is, does he fulfill what I want sexually? Because the state and her education and her career is providing her with everything else. Now, of course, we know it is a female preference to be provided for, and we see this because we see like currently there's like a push for like traditionalism to return. But these women still don't want to be traditional in that sense. They just want provisioning from an alpha male, which is not going to happen because the higher testosterone production of an alpha male makes him more polygamous in nature and less monogamous. And the lower testosterone production in the provider style male makes him more a stable long-term provisioning partner, which makes him technically a better choice unless you are in an environment which allows you to, allows a alpha type male with high testosterone production to take on multiple wives and therefore have more physically fit and superior offspring. Nonetheless, I'm pretty sure I'm onto something here when I say this is the entire motivation behind female like mad sexual just craziness as of late. I mean, you'd be surprised at some of the comments and questions and requests that I get from women, absolute strangers, in this day and age. I should probably do a post on my website just about like all the messages that I've received from these I just call them sexual savages, man. I mean, what kind of world is it where I, as a man who am openly polygamous, am like almost repelled and revulsed by like the messages I'm getting from women? That's madness. That is absolute madness. I mean, back in the days, we would have been happy to see that. Nowadays, it's so common, it's just like, yeesh. It's almost disgusting because now that I'm Muslim and I'm no longer Muslim, I'm not that I'm Muslim and I'm not non-Muslim in that sense. Back in the days, I had no restrictions on my sexuality. I could just go out and bang everything in sight. Now I can't do that. So now I have to look from the male perspective, what is a good long-term female partner? And that, of course, is a woman with virtue. You don't want a woman who's just out in the streets banging everything in sight. You don't want to try, like they say, turn a hoe into a housewife, because they never become housewives. Once a hoe, always a hoe. A bus stop is always a bus stop. You can't take the bus stop home and make it a bench or a sofa. It's not going to happen. It's the same thing. She's a bus stop, everybody rides her, So anyway, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I mean, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking unchecked hypergamy and unchecked feminism has led to this. And the advances that we see women making, the progress they make in Western society, has actually given them so much freedom that it's caused them to become worse, not better. It's bettered their economic and their education situation, but it has made them worse in the sense of like just what they're becoming sexually. And we see that this is like a Western phenomenon. When we look at like third world countries, a woman's virginity and her reputation is everything, because that's all she has. If she doesn't have that to offer a man, what happens? She's living with her parents the rest of her life, or she's thrown under the bus societally because the government doesn't take care of a woman in a third world country, or she becomes a prostitute or a whore. But what we find in the West is, we got these women who are making all sorts of money, and they're like sort of whores. They're not even prostitutes. Prostitutes should get more respect than whores, because at least prostitutes are selling what they're selling the hoo-ha. But a whore is just giving it away. Anyway, just ranting here for a minute. This is my speculation. And if you look at Turd Flinging Monkey, he's got quite a harsh stance. Turd Flinging Monkey holds that, the more repressive a society is upon women, the higher the birth rates and the better behaved the women are. And really, when you look at it, he might be right. Is it nice? No. But does it curb and check female behavior and sexuality? Absolutely. Because look at Saudi Arabia and all these other countries like Chad. He brought some examples of Chad and Saudi Arabia and how in the West populations are a negative. Like I'm in Germany, as you all know, and Germany has a negative birth rate. The German people can no longer recover. It's just a matter of time before they are an extinct species. It's just their extinct ethnicity. They're an endangered ethnicity in their own country. So he was bringing like how, and I'm going on a different topic. We'll talk about something else. We'll talk about that another time. This is your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Abuamerican. I'm out.